AT Cuber, how are we, my friend? Said, Craig, do you honestly think we will get Rodrigo? I'm getting mixed answers on this one. So depending on who I'm messaging or what I'm reading even, there's mixed takes on this one. So this one here said, Rodrigo is one of the more likely departures from Real Madrid, whose hopes of a fresh start and the new boss Xabi Alonso already look under threat after his bit part role in the Club World Cup. On top of that, though, we know Luis Diaz is probably edging closer to a Liverpool exit. So I think there is interest, but I think I agree with Ben Jacobs. Ben Jacobs was speaking with Grizz, I believe, shout out to Grizz, on his YouTube channel. And he said about Anthony Gordon and Rodrigo, this is what he said. There will be a chance, if the left side is being strengthened, that Liverpool will revisit Anthony Gordon. That's another one to keep an eye on. Rodrigo, it is not that I'm not getting acknowledgement of appreciation from Liverpool, because I am. It's just the idea that they're in Madrid or negotiating or ready to bid feels a bit premature. With Anthony Gordon, it's more than that. Now, I know every time I bring up the name Anthony Gordon, people get angry. But my job here is to tell you the truth and report what I believe is worth you guys knowing about. And I can only say to you that the sincere interest in Anthony Gordon has been there for a long time, going all the way back to last summer, like you've mentioned before. So he might not be the sexiest one, and I'm not saying people in the chat want him, but he is a genuine interest to us, you know? And again, keep an eye with the homegrown aspect of it as well. So I can only tell you what I know, and I know very much that Anthony Gordon is somebody that Liverpool would happily move for. Does it annoy you whenever anybody talks about us selling Diaz? People forget we have Gakpo. I'm not saying I don't want Rodrigo or Gordon, but it annoys me that everybody forgets about Cody, said Karan Patel. I don't think people are forgetting, mate. I look at it that we need two left-sided players. And I love the balance that we had with Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo. And equally, I will be happy if it's Rodrigo and Anthony Gordon there with Cody Gakpo. But I certainly don't think any of the Liverpool fans that I interact with are forgetting about Cody. It's just Cody and Mo are probably the only two forwards at the club that their places are safe for the summer. You know, we don't have to talk about potential moves away for either of them, albeit Bayern had a fleeting interest in Cody Gakpo a while ago. But I certainly don't think anybody's underestimating it. Hey Craig, can't wait for Lucho to leave. His fanboys are out there shitting on our club. Just want him gone now. We don't need plastic fans like City. It's definitely one of the more frustrating things for me as well to see our club getting belittled by people. Like it happened with Mane when he was leaving. I remember hearing how much more appreciated he was going to be in Bayern Munich. Well, that didn't work out too well there, did it? And I haven't seen too much of the Diaz fanboy stuff in all honesty because I'm not really on social media. But, you know, it's been really clear to me that he wants out. And I think it's going to happen. It's been tough to try to sit back and hear Liverpool say he's not for sale whilst allowing him to speak to Bayern, whilst allowing him to speak to Barca, allowing him to speak with Al Nassr. We're not going to allow that to happen, or at least not say anything publicly about it unless there's a number. So it's always felt to me like there was a number, and I just don't want players that don't want to be here. And the rumours coming out today about the type of money that Diaz is going to be earning, well, it's very significant. It's pretty damn significant. There's talk that Luis Diaz will be on €280,000 per week when he goes to Bayern Munich. Or should say, if he goes to Bayern Munich. So what's that? About £220,000? And I would dare say to you folks, Luis Diaz is not worth £220,000 a week. I don't see it. So if you can get that money and he wants to move, no problem, as long as Liverpool have the time to bring in a replacement. But, you know, I don't think it'll come as a shock to Liverpool that Diaz is angling for a move, because Liverpool don't want to renew his deal on huge money and he wants more money. And that's okay. Like I said, at least he's not hiding it. You know, he's out there trying to make a deal happen this summer. And if Liverpool can do it, so what? Let's move on. So Rodrigo to me makes more sense than Anthony Gordon because he gives us ability to play across the front line. And I don't think Anthony Gordon does that. But Anthony Gordon gives us other things like pace, homegrown. So I'm calm about either. You know, like I said, I trust the club's thought process. You know, if you want my preference, Rodrigo. But I'll understand either. Gordon a downgrade on Diaz. Look, I get it. I'm not going to sit here and laugh at you or argue with you about it. Obviously, the club and Arna see something there that they think they can improve on. Again, I get it. I know there's a lot of people that aren't convinced by the idea of Anthony Gordon. I'm not trying to sell you the prospect of it. I can only tell you what I know to be the case, though. Lauro, how are we, sir? How are we, mate? Still excited about Hugo? I don't know whether I should be excited or not, to be honest with you, because I don't know all that much about Hugo Ekitike. I do feel if the 85 million pound price is paid, I feel we've overpaid. But then again, I fear we're always going to have to overpay for a striker this summer because the market's so limited in the options available. But yeah, I'm excited that we're progressing. I am. I'm excited it brings us one step closer to getting rid of Darwin, which I can't wait for. The Diaz one, I'm on the fence about the Diaz one because I like Lucho, but I can understand if the club feel that the amount of money they may get could future-proof us for the future, next 3, 4, 5, 6 years with a younger player brought in. But I like Lucho, and I wouldn't have minded him staying one bit. You know, I've said this so many times, the options we have on the left side of attack to me are really good. Wayne said, loving the red top, Craig. Thank you, mate. Wonder what second striker we bring in will give Dan's a chance, or do you think we'll go for a cheap striker who'll rotate? I'm not convinced we sign a second striker at all. I think we bring in another player. So how do I say this? I agree that it would be lovely to bring in 2 strikers, but I don't think we will. I think we'll bring in one. We'll replace Diaz if he leaves. And then maybe if Chiesa... Like, I think a lot of this might hinge on Chiesa and whether he's really an option for this season. Because if he's going to be utilised, okay, that's an extra body. Young Rio, that's an extra body. So yeah, let's see. I'll be happy if we bring in Ekitike, the left-sided player who the club want, and a centre-back or 2 if we sell Kadade. Anything after that, and I think it'll be a pleasant surprise. What do you guys think? Let me ask the question to the chat. Right, so 1 striker and a utility attacker, yes or no? They're the options, I think. Because, yeah, a few people today have been talking about the idea of 2 strikers. I don't know. I've not seen much reporting to suggest that we're going to look to bring in 2. Although imagine if we did end up in some mad warped world with both Isak and Ekitike. The striker combo that Newcastle were trying to put in the window. Imagine there's some warped world where we somehow end up with those 2. Liverpool building a Galacticos. It's brilliant, Matteo. It's brilliant, mate. We can't certainly sit here anymore and say we haven't been given money to spend in the window. You know, but with that comes an expectation as well. You know, the pressure certainly ramps up on us. Last year we came in, I don't want to say as underdogs, but certainly nobody, not even the most optimistic of us Liverpool fans thought we were going to win the league. But this season we're coming in with an expectation. And I think that's going to bring its own pressures. But I think they'll be able to handle it.